What's good, everybody? It's KSteezy. This is a Wave Shaper tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to mix and master your beats in FL Studio. We're going to make your beats go from sounding like this to sounding like this. So today we're just going to take you through the process of mixing and mastering your beat. There's different ways to do this. This is the way that's yielded the best results for me. This is going to get your beats ready to be sold on BeatStars, put up on TrackTrain, on YouTube, whatever the case may be. It's going to get them ready to be sold and sound top quality, okay? So let's get into it. All right, y'all, so I'll let you listen to what I have right here. Just loop this first part of the hook. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. Alright, so first things first. Definitely want to make sure if you opened a file with a limiter on, turn your limiter off before you start mixing anything. If we need to, we can add that in later, but for now we're going to leave that off. I'm going to want to take all of my instruments and sounds and VSTs from my step sequencer. Just going to highlight them. Oh, and also you can do this. It's going to make things a lot clearer and more easily seen. Just add a gradient or a color to them. So I'm just going to do two random colors here. So now that everything's selected, you can either Shift Control L when you go to the mixer, or you can right click on the first insert and go to channel routing and just do route selected channels starting from this track. Bang, so they should all be in your mixer now. Now we're just gonna go through and put an EQ on every single insert we have here. So for our melodies, you can even solo these out if that helps you. For our melody, we're going to, I do have a reverb on there. That's just how I liked it for this particular instrument, but that's okay, we can leave that on. Just make sure your EQ goes underneath any other effects that you have on there. So for a melody, you generally want to cut out some of the lower end frequencies. So we'll put a high pass on it and make it steep too, just to really make it a little bit more steep. And this can go anywhere from like 100 to up to the 3 here. But for now, I'm just gonna put it like, probably like 150. And also we're gonna raise the high end frequencies, the 7, just to add a little brightness to it. Alright, so far kicking our 808, super important for a good mix. I do have the kick already sidechained to the 808 with a limiter on it. I have another video that explains how that's done. You want to click on that one. So let's add the EQ for the 808. And for this, even though it is a bass sound, still want to add a high pass and just cut some of this more muddy stuff on the end. Anywhere around 30 hertz would be good. And low pass on the other end. I usually like to put it between 5 and 6. And, you know, like I said, it varies from track to track, so kind of just feel that out. Listen. See where it sounds good. Also, you can pop up this 2 a little bit. Alright, so for the kick, same deal. It's a lower frequency sound, but I'm still gonna cut some. I'm gonna put it down to a 4. At 40 hertz. Same deal on this end. Put a low pass. And I really want this to go up a little bit. Let's add these hi-hats in here. So for the hi-hats, I usually add a reverb. But as you can hear, like that, it's just way too much. You can play with all these knobs in here. But more importantly, you're just gonna sub-bus it. Usually put around like 10%. Adds a little flair to the hats. For the EQ, add a high pass. This is a high frequency sound, so we don't need any of the extra lower frequencies that are coming off it. You can do this too, depends. Put a low pass. If you do put a low pass on, just make sure you put this down to steep 4. So you're not cutting off too much, just really just any little extra stuff over here. So for the clap, snares, all gonna be the same deal. High pass. I would put it between 2 and 3. Anywhere in this area would work. Put it like 180-ish, 190-ish. And important for these guys, you definitely want to drag up your 4 and your 5, going towards 3 or 6. It adds just a little extra pop. And depending how you want your snare or your clap to sound, you can lower this 7 over here, cut off a little bit at the high end. Might make it sound a little bit more crunchy if that's how you like it. So let me just add the same thing to these 2. Raise the 4 and cut some high. Okay, so for a triangle, I'm gonna treat this like it's a hi-hat or an open hat. Just go ahead and cut high pass all the way up to like 5 or 6. And for something like this, I do want to add a reverb to it. Again, sub-bus that, and make sure that the parametric EQ is below your other effects. So I'm actually going to raise the 6 a little bit. Got an open hat. See, I already have a reverb on here. Definitely going to want to turn that down a bit though. EQ, high pass. I'm gonna put that all the way up between 5 and 6 for our hats, triangles, etc. I'm gonna see how this one sounds with a low pass also on it. See, I like that it's tighter, and bump the 6 up a bit. Alright, so now I have this little effect here. If you can hear it, solo it out for you so you see what it is. So on this one, I already have a reverb added just to give it a little bit more ambience. I'm also going to use this separation tool down here and separate it about 20%. And I'm going to explain more about that later. So for this, I'll treat it like a melody. I would definitely want to put a high pass and cut it somewhere around 100, anywhere between 100 and the 3, I would say. I'm gonna put this just at 100, and I'm actually gonna cut some of this off the other end also, just to make it more kind of in the background. All right. Let's turn everything back on here. Hurt. I do have a reverb on that guy too. It's off right now. I'll turn it on. EQ. Put a high pass on that. Probably set it to like somewhere around here. I'll turn this reverb down also. Low, like. And finally, this is some hi-hats that I have just stacked over the other one, so I'm not going to add a reverb for these, but I am going to EQ them. Put a high pass on them. And I'm not going to cut off anything on the high end for those. Alright, so now what we're going to do is click Control and highlight all of our inserts. We're just gonna lower everything completely. Now we're gonna take them one by one and raise them up, generally to about 30, and it's gonna seem low right now, but you'll see why we do that at the end. So for the melody, I'll just raise the volume so you guys could actually hear it too. So around 30 works. The 808 I'll have hitting a little bit harder. Maybe push it up to like 21 dB. That's a little high, but for the kick, that's kind of, for me, important to have that loud too. Really drives the song, so I'm gonna push that up towards 18, 15. That should be good. Hi-hats, they can be around 30, ride a little bit over when they hit harder. It's probably about right towards 27. Our claps, same deal, like these can go towards 20, 21 even. So for all three of these, look at them over by 21. Snare, same thing. And you know, this is where you use your discretion too. If you want something to be more background noise, you can put it lower. Like the triangle, I'll probably put it right up by 30. Too high for my liking. Open hat, same thing. I don't want it to be like overpowering or anything. It's a little open hat. I don't want it to be a crash. The effects. My Vapor Max effects here. Shout out to the Wave Shapers drum kit. This one I actually kind of wanted to be in the background, but I wanted to show a little bit, so I'm going to let it go past 30 a bit. The perk is going to be a background noise, so I'll leave that at 33, 30 kind of. And then these layered hi-hats can't be overpowering the other one, so it's going to be another one by 30. Alright, so next we're going to go on to our master. And like I said, if you didn't do this earlier, just make sure that your Fruity limiter is off if you opened a FLP with the limiter on. So we're just going to add Maximus. Make this a little bit bigger so we can actually see what's going on. So first what we can do is solo out our low. So select low and solo it. And you're gonna go over here to the frequencies, and you want your low frequencies to be, you'll see actually in the upper left hand corner them changing. You want it to be anywhere around 150. I'll put it at 150 for the sake of keeping this short and sweet, but you can also click on this monitor, this bands, spectrogram on and off to see the sounds and where they're hitting. Next, we're gonna go to our mids. And for this, you want to not be able to hear the hi-hats. You want to only have the hi-hats hitting in the high frequencies. So we're gonna lower this down to about, I would say shoot for like 16 to 1700. You can go as low as 1500 on this, so make sure you don't hear any of them. And the high you can just leave as is. So let's unsolo this. Take a look. Alright, so here's that little stereo separation tool that I was talking about before. This is something that's really, really important, I think. So for our low, we're gonna set it to mono, which is all the way to the right. What that means is the low frequencies are gonna be hitting from the center. For our mid, we want them to be coming from the sides about 10%. And then for our highs, we can go up to like 20 or 25%. You know, again, this is stuff that's really preference, but next we want to take down all of our pre-gains on all these guys, so we can really feel out where we want everything. Just raise them back up one by one. And generally I put this a little bit higher than we had it before for my lows. Mids, raise them back up. Keep this just a touch above. Highs, same deal. Probably just put them like same as the mids, just a touch above. Here, and we're gonna pause them and set a threshold point here. So the threshold point is the average volume. As you can see, these are the volumes, decibels. So we can pause that, right click, it's gonna be the average volume there. So then we just wanna take this down. Let's play again so you can see what's going on. Take this down, you're gonna see some bounce coming in. And this is actually perfect. For the bass, I found that you want the bounce to come right back down to this midline here for best sound. Pause that, same deal, threshold point, average volume. Let this play. Usually take this one down a little bit lower, 3, even go to like 4 or 5-ish area. I'm gonna keep it at 3 this time. High, same thing. Boom. Let that play. Probably put it at 3. General rule of thumb, you could just put it at 3 for all 3 of these. Last but not least, here's our master. And again, you can pause it to see it's, I want to shoot for like 18 on this. Let that play. And we don't want to lower this too much on the master. I would probably just put it to like 1.5 in between 0 and -3. Next, now that we have these threshold points set, we can lower the threshold for the master all the way down, which means it's going to compress right away or at those points. After we have that, and it's going to get loud, so be careful. We're just going to raise our post gain all the way up. So that's about it, guys. That's how you're gonna mix and master your beats in FL Studio. Get that top quality sound and get them ready to be sold, put up on YouTube, SoundCloud, whatever you want to do with them. If you like this video, please leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, turn post notifications on. This is K Steezy. It's a Waveshaper tutorial. I'm out. Steezy hit the flash.